Welcome back to our AI in Action Building with Copilot Studio series. Topics are the core building blocks of a Copilot, which define how a conversation dialogue plays out. Think of topics as a way to build out every possible conversation path that your Copilot may have, which will then allow your users to have a conversation that feels natural and flows appropriately. In this video, I'll be showing you how to build out a topic using a combination of natural language and manual methods. While viewing a custom Copilot in Copilot Studio, I'll select Topics to access the Topic section. There are two types of topics, Custom and System. System topics are common topics used in conversations and are added to a Copilot automatically when you create one. System topics help your Copilot respond to common system events like escalation and have essential behavior like ending a conversation. These topics cannot be deleted. Then we have custom topics that cover common behaviors like greeting a customer, ending or restarting a conversation. These topics can be edited or deleted, and every topic that you create from scratch becomes a custom topic. To create a custom topic using natural language, I'll select Add a Topic and then Create from Description with Copilot. I'll name the topic, Book a Salon Appointment. Then I'll provide the topic description. Here, I've stated that the topic should ask for a user's full name, email, provide a list of specific services, and ask for the date and time of the appointment. Then I'll click Create. After a few seconds, Copilot will take that description and build out a new topic. On the right-hand side, you'll see a complete summary of what was added, including all the question nodes asking for the relevant information. Going back to our topic, it starts with the trigger node that has a bunch of trigger phrases. By default, topics use the phrases trigger, which activates when one or more of their trigger phrases match closely with an incoming message from a user. Once triggered, it will then move on to ask the first question. The question node is made up of three elements: the question itself, an entity, and a variable. An entity can be thought of as a unit of information that represents a certain type of real-world subject, like a person's name. Because Copilot's conversations leverage natural language understanding, Copilot is able to understand a user's intent with the help of an entity. In this example, if I said, "My name is Homalemo Mohapi," Copilot will recognize the person name in that sentence and save only that part as a variable. This is the same in a simple example, as well as more complex examples like this one. The last part of the question node saves the user response as a variable. Copilot has generated the full name variable based on the description I gave and correctly assigns it as a string. You can create your own variables as well. With that, I will now manually change the question to something more friendlier. The next node will then ask for an email. We can edit the question to include the full name variable from the previous node to make the conversation feel more natural. In the question, I'll write thanks, and then I'll add the full name variable like this, and then finish off the rest of that statement. This edit is also possible with Copilot, so I'll go ahead and undo my changes. Then I'll select the node. You should then see on the right-hand side that one node is selected. This will ensure that any change I make with Copilot will be applied to this node only. In the field, "What do you want to do?" I'll enter the statement to update the question node to say thank you to the full name variable from the previous node, and then proceed to ask the question. Then I'll click Update. The node is now updated to include the variable from the previous node using Copilot. The next node will then ask which service the user would like to book. The user selection will then be stored in a choice variable. This type of variable allows us to add a condition to our topic to steer the conversation into another direction based on whatever choice the user selects. For that, I'll click on Add Node and then add a condition. I will then set this condition up by selecting the variable, making sure that the logical operator is set to is equal to, and then setting the value to hair. Then under that, I'll add another node to ask a question. What hairstyle do you want? For identify, instead of an entity, I'll save the user's entire response. Then I'll change the variable name to hairstyle. This makes it so that if a user chooses hair as the service they're looking for, the Copilot will then ask them to provide a hairstyle. If a user chooses any of the other services, the Copilot will just continue to the next node after the condition, which is this date-time node, which is fine as is because this uses a date and time entity to identify those values from the user's response. Now we can also add additional nodes using Copilot. I'll click in the empty space around the nodes to ensure that no single node is selected. Then in the Edit with Copilot window, I'll add Summarize the information collected in a message node and click Update. A message node will then be added to the end of the topic, summarizing all the information for the user. Finally, we can then add a redirect node to go to the end of conversation system topic. With the topic complete, let's save it, and then we'll test it. I'll enter, can I book a salon appointment? And then follow the prompts, providing my name, email, selecting service, hairstyle, and date and time. We'll then see the summary provided, followed by questions which are part of the end of conversation system topic. This topic can be edited to suit our preferences. Creating a topic manually has just one small change. When you select Add a Topic, you'll click on From Blank, and then you'll go ahead and add everything as normal. Add your own trigger phrases by selecting Edit, and on the right-hand side, enter a single phrase and press Enter on your keyboard. Do this at least 5 more times. Then add nodes as normal, and you can even use Copilot to make the process faster. This topic could be developed much further, including taking the information gathered and saving it to Dataverse through a Power Automate flow, which is what we will be doing in the next video, so stay tuned for that one. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the Microsoft Power Platform YouTube channel to receive a notification of our next episode in our AI in Action Building with Copilot Studio series.